Welcome to the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos. Happy holidays to everybody. I hope your Christmas holiday was amazing yesterday. We back at it on a Tuesday, and there were a lot of things that happened on Christmas Day that made me look at the TV and say, huh. Now, Christmas Day was as advertised as far as the NBA goes. We had primetime games with teams who had to show something because this is essentially a second opening day for the NBA season. They've already got the opening night in NBA. What's it, some night in October? But everybody knows on the 25th of December that the stars will be out and they will align on NBA floors across the nation. Timberwolves beat the Lakers yesterday, but that was without Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, so I'm not going to sit up here and give the Timberwolves a hip hip hooray or anything like that. And the process was in full effect in New York, and they processed and stole Christmas from Kristaps Porzingis and the New York Knicks. The Philadelphia 76ers are the real deal. Get used to seeing them dominate the Eastern Conference in their division, in their respectively for the next few years. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win championships or win the conference finals, but they look like they could. Now, the Wizards stormed into Boston like a blizzard and froze Kyrie Irving and the Celtics. Now, it really bothers me that the Celtics have slowed down on playing distinguished defense that they were playing earlier in the season. Jaylen Brown, not totally healthy, but John Wall, chirp, 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 with Kyrie Irving the entire game. And John Wall, again, showed that in big moments, he can perform. So that's the one thing I like about John Wall. I was kind of hesitant about saying he's got the clutch gene, but at this point of his career, I can say, John Wall, you got the clutch gene. And the highlight hoops of yesterday, Cavs versus Warriors. That was a playoff-like atmosphere. We know the stories about these teams meeting in the finals 3 straight years. We understand how the magnitude of this matchup and how you've got all-stars all over the floor. It's essentially basically a de facto all-star game. 92-99 was what the Cavs lost by playing against the Warriors. The Cavs, I'll say this, they struggled the entire game. They could not shoot the ball. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that that's because the percentage was back. Hey, Kevin Love, he was 6 for 11 from 3. Jay Crowder, I think he hit about 3 or 4 threes. So they were scoring points, but just not enough. And especially LeBron against Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant basically owned LeBron like a new pair of Jordans that he got for Christmas. Now, and I say that because you might as well say, I mean, that's what people want for Christmas, right? Well, he owned them like a new pair of LeBrons for Christmas then. Or a new pair of KDs. But start to finish, Kevin Durant, he's come into his own. He's long. He's got that long wingspan. He didn't like being called the Slim Reaper. He's stronger now than he was when we were calling him that. But he showed that LeBron is no match for him on the offensive or defensive end. Now, what does that mean? Am I saying that Kevin Durant's better than LeBron right now? Maybe I am, but LeBron James is still an elite player, but Kevin Durant, he neutralized him. The last play of the game, there was a no call at the end. I thought it was acceptable because Kevin Durant comes over, he gets over top, he doesn't smack the hell out of him or anything like that. He just simply puts that hand up, knocks the ball down. Review that, check that out. And I really liked his exuberance. I love Kevin Durant's energy now. He's feeling himself. He's smelling himself because he's won an NBA championship, which he should. Even the post-game interview, he said, tell those folks that on the 24-hour fitness that they would think that's a foul call too. And when it's a foul then, they're going to be mad too when it's called a foul at the 24-hour fitness. I guess he's referring to folks on Twitter who allegedly work out at the 24-hour fitness. I never heard of that, KD. I mean, Planet Fitness is 24-hour. I guess you didn't want to say the name. You should have. Maybe got an endorsement or something. But Golden State, they balled out. They beat the Cavs yesterday. The defense by KD and Draymond was phenomenal. Now, some people say we'd be back to a foregone conclusion about these two teams meeting in the finals, but I don't know about that. Cleveland, you've got more to do than Golden State does. Golden State got that one yesterday, and guess what? Chef didn't even play. Carrying on. Rockets versus Thunder yesterday was a back-and-forth matchup. That was the second primetime game on Christmas Day. Russell Westbrook. I call him the distributor. You know, there's a movie coming out with Liam Neeson called The Commuter, but Russell Westbrook, he's the distributor. Giving out dimes everywhere. Giving out dimes, points, buckets, you name it. 31 and 11. Paul George had 24 points. Melo had 20. Steven Adams had 15 points. They are playoff ready. This contingent of stars, Steven Adams, Carmelo Anthony, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, their appearance in the playoffs is contingent upon consistency. Now, what does that mean? It means every night they got to come out and people have to put points up. People got to distribute, get some assists, get rebounds, help out all around. Now, The Rockets, I'm not too concerned with them. Chris Paul didn't even play, and all 5 starters were in double figures. I think they had 4 of those guys that had 20, and then 1 had 11. So the Rockets, James Harden, Eric Gordon, Trevor Reeves, and all those guys, I'm not worried about that squad at all. This was just a game that was on the road Christmas Day. It's one game. It's lost. But a 7-game series, watching the way the Rockets played at OKC, I don't know if OKC could go into Houston and play like Houston played going into OKC. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. But the beard, you should fear him, Russell Westbrook, because, yeah, your squad played good yesterday, but I tell you this, James Harden, he dropped 52 nights that he lost, and then he loses to you guys. He is angry. He's going to only get angrier and angrier and ended up playing like you did after you felt that chip on your shoulder once KD left and didn't tell you about it. So watch out for Houston, but good win by OKC. Sunday in the NFL, we all looked at a little bit of football. There was some Saturday night we didn't care about. The Packers lost 16-0 to the Vikings. First shutout since, the 90s or something like that? That was terrible. Los Angeles living is nice for the Rams. Sunday, they became the NFC West champs when they took down the Tennessee Titans and Marcus Mariota. Sean McVay, the young whippersnapper coach, 31 years old, finds a way to become a division champion in his first year at the helm as head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. Now, there must have been something stinky in the Mississippi River in St. Louis. You smell that? Because these guys come over to L.A. and now they balling. But hold on, they were there last year, right, with Jeff Fisher. So we got to give credit to Sean McVay, right? He's got Jared Goff playing at an all-time level. Todd Gurley is the manliest football player y'all have ever met. And the reason I say that is because he can catch the ball out of the backfield, get you a touchdown. He can run between the tackles, get you a touchdown. He can do a trick play, throw the ball, get you a touchdown. Todd Gurley is an all-purpose, all-around NFL player, and he's somebody who will be a generational talent if he can stay healthy, because we know he had the knee injuries in college. Can he stay healthy at the NFL level? We shall see. But the Los Angeles Rams, they are a for real Super Bowl contender. And I'm not just saying that because it's obvious. It's because of what we see on the field. Lions, they messed up against the Bengals, lose the game, drop to the Bengals. Now, let's not forget, the Bengals still have talent, Andy Dalton, A.J. Green. However, the Lions, if you want to make the playoffs, win the games you're supposed to win. You scored a touchdown late, then you took the L. Terrible. Dak, he's clearly not comfortable down in Dallas. The Cowboys were eliminated from playoff contention by the Seahawks, 21-12 loss. Dak threw a pick six on a running back swing route. Who does that? So I look at this entire Cowboys offense and think to myself, was it just Zeke? Is it because Zeke wasn't there? Is that why they lost these games down the stretch? Well, Zeke came back yesterday. He came back Sunday, played all right. He ran the ball well. Why didn't they keep running the ball? Not sure. Seahawks found a way to win. They've been calling the Legion of Boom old. Oh, those boys old. They need to bring them boys up. Well, the Legion of Boom, they showed why they are the Legion of Boom, because they carried Russell Wilson in that struggling Seattle offense, because they are struggling like a kid on welfare back in 1940. But the Seahawks, can Pete Carroll, can he get these guys in the playoffs, and can they even make noise when they get there? Because they're running game, they got Thomas Rawls, yeah, but Chris Carson was the main running back earlier in the year, and he was the guy they needed to carry that offense. He still got the most rushing yards on the team, and he's been hurt for weeks. But as far as the Cowboys go, should Jason Garrett, should he end up being fired as head coach? Because if you look at the Cowboys, they've been eliminated 6 times in the playoffs over the past 8 seasons. They've been eliminated from contention, like not even got in, like didn't even show up to the party, like got to the door and they're like, you're not on this list. So I look at this team and say, Jason Garrett, head coach of the Cowboys, hasn't won any playoff games, has been eliminated several occasions. I have young talent, Dak Prescott, Zeke Elliott. Do I want to waste it? Jerry Jones, make a move, get your boy out of there. And it's time to bring somebody else in at the helm. I don't know, Jerry, maybe you want to call Tony Romo, see if he's interested in coaching. Psych. Steelers get a home field advantage in the playoffs in the AFC after busting the Texans yesterday on Christmas. Congrats to them. Eagles are the number 1 seed in the NFC with 13 wins. They beat the Raiders last night. Fumble return made it look pretty at the end. Oh, we're NFC champs. We're NFC. Yeah, we're the number 1 seed. Yeah, that's all good and dandy. But I've seen number 1 seeds lose in divisional round for years and years since I've been growing up. So, Philly, what are you going to do now that you don't have Carson Wentz? I said that previous episodes. If you watch Zono Sports, can Nick Foles fly a 757 to the Super Bowl? Because Doug Peterson, that's the type of offense that he calls. He calls an aircraft carrier. He calls an offense that requires a quarterback to be mobile, be able to throw to receivers on the run. Nick Foles is a good quarterback, but I'm not sure because they have enough tape on this guy. He's been in the league for quite some time. I'm not sure if once he's prepped for, can he respond to the adjustments that the defense will make to him in the playoffs, in the postseason? Because Nick Foles is still Nick Foles. If he was going to be a starter, he would have been a starter by now. This isn't a case of Case Keenum. Nick Foles has been in the league a few years. So I look at Case Keenum's season, and I'm not going to compare it to what Nick Foles is doing right now in lieu of Carson Wentz being injured. However, I think the Eagles do have a shot to win a Super Bowl, but it depends on Nick Foles and can he direct this offense, and what will Doug Peterson allow him to do within the offense? Will he give him the whole reins? Who knows? NCAA football this weekend. College football playoff is fastly approaching. It will be here New Year's Day. Make sure you watching. That's next Monday, so we'll have something to talk about next Tuesday. Oklahoma versus Georgia. Baker, the touchdown maker, definitely gets that game done. I love this Georgia defense. A bunch of junkyard dogs. You got Roquan Smith, Lorenzo Carter, a lot of guys who can run to the ball and they're fast. However, Baker Mayfield has played against good defenses. Ask Ohio State. And what did he do at Ohio State besides plant the flag in the middle of the field? What did he do at Ohio State? He got the dub on the road. So you tell me about a good defense and a neutral site. I think Baker Mayfield can definitely make some noise. And I think Oklahoma will win that game because Jake Fromm, yeah, he's a good quarterback, but he's still a freshman. And I know he's got a show out and everything like that about his high school senior season at Houston County High. But I'm talking about college football playoff. And Baker Mayfield's your Heisman winner. He's already announced he's playing in the Senior Bowl, which is a good look for him because of everything he's done off the field. It's good marketability for his brand. So I think that Oklahoma, with just the experience and Baker Mayfield being a never-say-die type of guy, the Oklahoma Sooners will definitely beat the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, Clemson versus Alabama, the rubber match, 3 years in a row. We playing again, y'all. We playing again, Alabama. We playing again, Clemson. This game will be epic. Nick Saban, I guarantee you, he makes adjustments to last year. He hasn't slept since that pass to Renfro in the corner that Brown slipped down on. And I'm sure Brown's thought about it for quite some time, the DB. Now, Renfro, I don't think he'll be effective this game because Nick Saban will make sure that guy does not beat him this season. That defensive line for Clemson, can they neutralize Jalen Hurts? Because Jalen Hurts, Calvin Ridley, these are the guys that are going to have to provide some offense. Damian Harris, these are guys that are going to have to produce some points because Clemson and Kelly Bryant will score points. They got the young freshman Etienne, how do you say his last name? They've got to find a way to get the ball in the end zone. Alabama's got to score at least 30 to win this game. At least 30 because Clemson's going to give you at least 20 plus. So can this Alabama defense with healthier linebackers rise up from the ashes and defend what has been known as the dynasty in college football, the featured dynasty, Alabama Crimson Tide? I look forward to this matchup. I think that Alabama wins this game against Clemson because Clemson, if you lose to Syracuse, I'm not ever going to sit here and say, oh, you're a good team. Talk about Alabama's schedule all you want, but you lost to Syracuse, Clemson, on a lazy night. And yeah, Kelly Bryant got hurt, but that was a lazy night. I watched the game. Now, we'll talk some more college hoops next time. We got a lot going on. We had something going on yesterday on Christmas, and we got the college football playoffs. And right now, this is college hoops right now. It's not juicy right now, but in January with the upsets, we already saw one with Duke to Boston College. It will get juicier. So make sure you watch the Zono Sports Show, and I'll keep bringing the juice to you. Thank you so much for watching the Zono Sports Show, where you know Zonos.